Hello, everyone, and welcome to Haddonfield. This is a podcast, and I'm Nick Lathan.
And I'm Peyton Lynch.
It's a Halloween podcast in which we talk about the Halloween film franchise. Now, I was pitching this to people yesterday, trying to get guests for the show, and they kept saying, like, oh, can I talk about Freddy vs. Jason?
That's not a Halloween movie.
Can I talk about Hocus Pocus? Like, no, it's...
That would be funny if Hocus Pocus was in the Halloween universe.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Rachel Lewinauer, she thought we were talking about the Halloween movies at dinner one time, and we were talking about Michael Myers and all that stuff, and she's like, wait a minute, what? She's very confused, because she thought they were like the Halloween movies were like Hocus Pocus or like
Halloween Town.
Yeah. Which I was like, Debbie Reynolds is not going to show up in the Halloween film franchise. So this is just an intro episode because next week we're going to have Rich Camelucci come on and talk about the first Halloween movie. So in this movie, we're just talking about why we love Halloween.
Why we love Halloween, the franchise, or the movie.
The film franchise.
The film franchise. I mean, we're talking about the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah. So Peyton, what got you into Halloween?
I think it just sort of slipped in. I think I didn't watch like a lot of super scary movies when I was younger because when I was 3 years old, I saw Child's Play and it traumatized me.
Well, you were 3 when you saw Child's Play?
Yeah. I was at my uncle's house and I think it was just like I wasn't supposed to be there and he was like, I'm not changing like my tonight plans, so we just like watched Child's Play anyway.
Wow. Did you ever have to have a My Buddy doll? Did you ever have a My Buddy doll?
I didn't. One. Did they? Is that like what he looks like?
My Buddy, I think the Good Guy doll is based on My Buddy.
On My Buddy. I didn't have that. I didn't have like a human looking doll when I was younger. I had like a bunch of like different animals. I had like Barbie, so that was yeah. But there's not like a Barbie scary movie. There should be one.
There's a scene in the film Small Soldiers directed by Joe Dante.
That's true, and the Barbies turned mean. I love Small Soldiers. All those little like animals from like the fictional planet or the island that they're from. I can't remember what
they're from. Gorgon. They're the Gorgonites.
The Gorgonites.
We're off to a great start.
We're off to a great start talking about the Small Soldiers franchise.
There's going to be a lot of tangents on this podcast. So you watched Child's Play at 3.
At 3. So I didn't really go to watch a lot of movies, but I think I must have saw Halloween on TV, and it was okay. Like the first movie isn't that violent, so it's like okay enough that I wasn't that scared, and I really liked it. I also saw Psycho when I was really young too, and I think I knew that Jamie Lee Curtis was Janet Leigh's daughter, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So I think that got me into it.
Yeah, Psycho. That's like an entry level horror movie.
Yeah,
I remember watching that when I was a kid. Recently, I was like watching YouTube videos on horror movies, and like I totally forgot that the censors were freaking out about Psycho because of
the running blood, or no,
because of the shot of she writes something or like rips up something and flushes it down the toilet. And they had a shot of the toilet being flushed, and that's the first time that I'd ever seen
that
a flushing
was over
toilet.
On screen, and they were like, "That's
the censors
inappropriate."
Were like, "Yeah, we need to ban
That's
this movie."
so weird.
It is weird.
It's like so seemingly innocuous.
It's like there's so much weird censorship. Like
the
Flintstones was the first time a husband and wife were ever in a bed together, like sleeping together.
The movie with
for the cartoon.
Oh, the cartoon.
Flintstones.
I was gonna say, I was like, that's pretty late.
Yeah, 1993.
1993. Flintstones.
Yeah, I got into the Halloween movies. Grew up watching horror movies like Child's Play. I watched Child's Play was something that me and my brother watched a lot. Specifically, the third one, just because.
Which one is the third one? I think I've only seen the first one and then Bride of Chucky.
Well, the third Child's Play is when Andy's at the military school.
Oh, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Like, me and my brother were just obsessed with the idea that like somehow Chucky replaced paintballs with real bullets in a gun.
He's ingenious. He's a self-starter, Chucky. Also, I think I was horrified because like Chucky had red hair and he reminded me of Chucky on Rugrats, and I was like, that's so scary.
Polar opposite.
Polar opposites.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, like, watched Child's Play a lot growing up, and then I didn't get Halloween until late.
Yeah.
Like, I liked all of other John Carpenter's other stuff. So, like, I'm, like, big fan of The Thing. Actually, I watched The Thing late, too. I watched The Thing after I watched Halloween. But I
feel like The Thing is scarier than Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. Neither one of them really scare me. Well, actually, Halloween scares me
I just saw The
more.
Thing last year, and it was
really?
like, yeah. The practical effects are so good, but they're so, like, frightening.
Rob Bottin.
Yeah. That's the practical effects guy. What other stuff did he do?
I think he did The Howling, Joe Dante's The Howling.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah. What else did he do? Yeah, he was like, The Thing is what he's most famous for, just because of
really, really
how
good.
fucking good everything is.
Yeah.
And then...
It kind of reminds me of a little bit of the transformation in An American Werewolf in London. When I don't know who does the practical effects for that.
That was Rick Baker.
Rick Baker. Oh, he's a big one.
Yeah, Rick Baker won. He like won an honor. They didn't have the category yet, but he won an honorary like special effects makeup award for An American Werewolf.
Yeah.
Which that should be the sequel podcast. We just talk about both American Werewolf movies.
There's more than one. Oh, there's another one. Yeah,
An American Werewolf in Paris.
I haven't seen the Paris one.
I haven't either.
We should talk about Child's Play. I didn't think about that one before. That's a big series.
There's so many. Look at us. We're just
like talking about every movie but Halloween.
We're 7 minutes in and we're like talking about every other thing. Like, oh, let's talk about. We want to talk about everything but Halloween. So yeah, Halloween I got late because I used to watch. I grew up watching John Carpenter, like both escape movies, like Escape from New York, Escape from LA, and then high school. Like I'd watch all the other Halloween movies, but I'd never seen the original one.
Oh yeah,
which I thought was very weird.
Well, the original one isn't on TV as much as like the sequels are. I feel like
the sequels. Good God, I've seen Curse of Michael Myers. I don't know how many times on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Which one is? That's the one with Paul Rudd.
That's the one with Paul Rudd.
Okay, I haven't seen that one. I don't think.
Yeah,
but I've seen the one. The two that come before that are about like her niece or something. They're about the little girl in the clown costume. I've seen that one like countless times.
Yeah.
It's on TV all the time.
Those titles crack me up because it's like the return of Michael Myers and then the revenge of Michael Myers.
Also, I think, I mean, not a spoiler for that episode, but like, I feel like she has like some weird power, like she can see through Michael's eyes or something. This
podcast is going to be a jaunt down memory lane because I haven't seen the ones that I've seen most recently are the first three and the first Rob Zombie one.
I've only seen the third one once, the Season of the Witch, the one that's not about Michael at all.
And I'm going to tell y'all straight up, I'm an apologist for that movie.
I mean, I'm sure it's a good movie. It's gotten a lot of like, since it's come out, it's gotten a lot of like a following. I think.
Yeah, it's getting more recent.
But I've only seen it once,
More recent. It's like with James Bond, how on Her Majesty's Secret Service, like, that was like shunned upon, but now like hit the mic. There's more like a resurgence of like it's actually pretty good. So Halloween 3, which we'll get into that when we get to that episode. I'm pretty stoked about it.
Nick likes it, so
I love it. You can turn this podcast right off now. You can unsubscribe from the Patreon, and I will not refund your money because I'm sorry, that's in my pocket now.
Yeah, we're all both getting directly paid for this.
Like seriously, the Patreon it's Venmo'd into our accounts. It's filtered, and I'm just gonna buy it. I'm just gonna spend it on Halloween costume. I've been so excited about doing this podcast that last night I was like we're recording this in July for an August release.
Yeah. How did you get the idea for the podcast initially?
What was I was like, because all the Comic-Con stuff.
And then more importantly, why did you think to ask me to join you?
This is what happened. This is exactly how it went down. I was looking at all the Comic-Con stuff because Jamie Lee Curtis, David Gordon Green, they're in Comic-Con right now promoting the new movie.
Oh, is there like a video or thing?
Yeah, they did a panel, which we might link to this on like our Twitter.
Oh, yeah, I want to watch it, yeah.
So they were talking about it and just talking about the new movie, and there was a description on Birth Movie's death of the footage, and it's
of the new movie.
Yeah, and it just sounds like the original Halloween.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because Michael Myers, like, eventually, like, you bring on the cult, like Cult and Satan and like you know Sam Hain, all that stuff, which I didn't really care for. The first Halloween movie scares the shit out of me. Not as much as it should.
Yeah.
But the reason Michael Myers to me was so scary in the first place is because it's a guy in a mask on Halloween night going around killing people, and like he blends in.
Yeah.
So well.
Yeah. I was just rewatching it last night. Like I had it on, and one of the scariest parts of the movie for me is when he like chases her through the house, and then she runs outside, and then she like runs next door to get help, and then the person inside like turns the lights on, and then like hears her, and then turns the lights off.
Yeah.
It's just like so like seemingly like she should be like in a safe place, but like there's no one that is there to help her.
Well, it's good. Yeah, it's Halloween night, so they're like, oh, they're probably...
So they're like, oh, they're playing pranks on us.
Yeah. That's what makes it so scary.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like the part in the first movie, whenever... Is it Tommy that runs into him? Somebody's running away.
At school,
and they run into Michael.
Well, no, Tommy's getting bullied by like those kids at school, and then one of the bullies runs into Michael.
Yeah.
And then like looks at him and then runs away.
It's like, oh, it's just a guy in a mask. Like that's what's so scary about it. Yeah. And then you start adding all this supernatural shit, and that's when it... Anyway.
Yeah.
So based on what they say in this article, it's like the new ones... Like the new one. So I was just really pumped about it. And like I made a post on Facebook, and you just happened to say, I was like, I'm really excited about this. And you said, me too. And I was like,
I'm glad I'm making things happen, you know?
Comment me too on Facebook pictures.
There you go.
And so in this, I haven't done anything for the Patreon for Arcade Audio in a while, which thank you for donating if you're listening to this
Definitely.
right now.
Thank you for giving money.
But
some of the great podcasts on Arcade Audio.
We got so much stuff on here. This is just going to turn into a telethon. We got so much stuff on here. We got Podswoggle. We've got Dilettante Ball.
Dilettante Ball.
We've got Heels and Heels. We got Married with Movies. And also...
Our Father.
We've got Riverside Falls.
Riverside Falls, which Nick created and produces.
And we've got the new podcast, Queer Movie Night.
Queer Movie Night, which Nick also produces, and I co-host with Deborah Duncan.
Which we got big plans, everybody. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So that's what originally, that's nice. the germ of it. And I just want everybody, like, trying to get as much of our friends that love these movies and like also are on podcasts and Arcade Audio to guest on this.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Which the guest, we have Miles booked, and Miles has never seen any of these movies.
I think that's going to be fun.
That's really funny. Like I'm surprised by the amount of people that I've talked to that have never seen the Halloween movies. Yeah,
me too. That's crazy to me. I feel like there's at least the first movie is such like a staple of like what a quintessential horror movie is. And it started like a lot of, it inspired a lot of movies. Even that scene I was just talking about where she's like running around the house, like obviously I was like, oh my God, this is the opening scene from Scream. Cause she goes like out of the glass window and then runs around the house. Like, I was like, wow.
Well, Scream is like such a send-up of slasher movies.
For sure, yeah. Wes Craven's such a big... Oh, yeah, and Kevin Williamson wrote it, I guess. But
yeah, and it's also like... have you seen It Follows?
I haven't yet, but I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, It Follows, like... The opening is a lot like that part from Halloween, but it's at dusk.
Oh, during the day. That makes it even scarier.
Yeah, because It Follows...
That's like... Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like most of the movies during the day.
Dude, Jesus Christ. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's the first horror movie. 2 horror movies that really scared the shit out of me to this day. The Fly, David Cronenberg's remake.
I haven't seen the remake, but I should.
It is, like, as a kid, I watched it, and it still fucks me up. And then Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just because of how brutal it is. Like, just the shot of Leatherface opening up that big metal door, killing that woman immediately, and then like dragging her and then slamming the door.
I love how it has such a long build up too, and then like all the deaths happen like within 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's really cool.
And only one person gets killed with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, It Follows, the opening, because I don't know if you know the premise of It Follows.
It's like someone they like get haunted by something and then they pass it along by having sex with people or something.
It's like an STD allegory.
Yeah.
But the only people that can see it are like
are the people who had who had it at one
So,
point?
like, a guy has sex with a woman. He saw it, and then she could see it.
Okay.
And then they pass it on.
Is it like The Ring where the next person who watches the video is only cursed by it, or is it everybody who...
Yeah. Well, I think it's...
You pass it on, you don't, like, all share it?
You pass it on, yeah.
It's not like Final Destination?
Yeah.
It's like The Ring? Cool.
Yeah. It's yeah. But the opening of It Follows is very creepy because just this woman running and like trying to get help, but everybody doesn't see it.
Nobody sees it.
But she does.
Yeah. That's one of like my biggest like fears, I feel like, is like I used to have dreams when I was younger of like people not believing me when I told them things. So like that's one of the things that actually makes me anxious when I watch these movies, is like people not believing something that's actually happening.
Yeah. Oh God. We should just write a horror movie.
We should. I would love to play Laurie Strode. I feel like that's such a cool part. For sure.
Yeah. I'm so stoked for the first one just because like the way Jamie Lee Curtis has described it, like back in 78, like like nobody believes you and there's like no like trauma like support or anything like that.
Yeah.
So she's been like just been dealing with this shit because nobody believed her.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, helped her or anything like that.
Yeah.
So like she's like kind of gone full Sarah Connor, it seems like.
Yeah.
Which I think is very, very cool.
Yeah.
So I'm really pumped.
In the new movie, yeah.
I'm really pumped to see that showdown.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to. I hope that like as far as like the shots and like how it's filmed, I hope that they carry over the point of view, like Michael's point of view, because that's also one of the like my favorite parts of the original.
Yeah.
Two movies.
Thinking about the original one, my favorite POV shot is whenever it's young Michael's POV and he picks with that mask.
Yeah,
and the arm. It's like it had to be a fake arm. The arm that comes in and picks.
It's like a human. It's like an adult man's arm, right? Or
it's
something?
so weird looking. Yeah. Really excited about it. That's next week.
That's next week on the first episode.
On Welcome to Haddonfield. Oh man.
What else should we say? Have we said everything we need to say?
I don't know. This was never meant to be a long episode. It was just an intro, just to let you know what this is going to be like.
Hello.
Hello. It's going to be a bunch of tangents about other horror movies. Not really, though. But yeah, some of the episodes we have planned, we're coming up with, of course, Halloween 1 through
6,
8. So there's Halloween.
Counting Halloween
2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Halloween, they dropped the 6, Curse of Michael Myers.
Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers.
And then Halloween H2O, 20 years later. Halloween, Resurrection. And then Rob Zombie's Halloween. And then Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Nice.
Which Rob Zombie's Halloween pisses me off.
I've never seen it, so.
Mainly pisses me off because they did like they did, and then
they give him like a backstory, right? They give
so
Michael
stupid.
like a backstory.
Ugh, I don't want to sympathize with my killer.
I know, it's like Jason. I don't care about Jason.
Yeah. Which I share a birthday with Jason.
Oh no.
Which I care a lot about him. What was I going to say? But yeah, Rob Zombie, at the end of the spoiler alert, if you haven't seen any of these movies, turn it off now. Come back.
Turn it off now.
Watch all the movies.
Skip like 15 seconds.
Yeah, pause. Watch all 10 movies. Come back. So at the end of the Rob Zombie one, because at the end of the first one, he shoots him 6 times.
Yeah.
Famously.
Yeah.
And Michael Myers gets up and he's gone.
Yeah, he turns away and then he looks back and Michael's gone.
Yeah. And the new one, Laurie shoots him point blank in the head.
In the
Rob Zombie remake.
Oh, in the Rob Zombie one. Okay.
In 2007.
Yeah.
Point blank shoots him in the head.
Yeah.
They made a sequel.
Yeah.
Which I think
that's very Jason too. They always kill Jason like at the end, like by shooting him and he comes back to life.
Ugh. Very
I
upsetting.
think in some of the later Halloweens though, he does come back. Right? I mean, he's obviously not dead in the second one.
Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Michael, like, we'll get into that in the second and third episodes, or fourth, whatever episode count it is. But like, John Carpenter, like, wanted, like, this is the definitive end. Like, he's dead at the end of the second one.
Yeah.
And then Season of the Witch was the start.
Was not him, yeah. They were trying to start an anthology.
Yeah, which I think is...
a cool idea.
It's so cool.
That's what they wanted to do with Friday the 13th, too, originally, but then they didn't do that.
Well, and then they did that for the Friday the 13th, the TV show.
Oh, I didn't know there was a TV show.
Yeah, Friday the 13th TV show had nothing to do with Jason. Yeah. And was like, it was kind of like the X-Files.
It was like a different case every episode.
It was a lot like the X-Files now that I think about it. Man, that's it. This is the end of the episode.
This is that. Thanks. Tune in next week for the first Halloween movie. Do you have
anything else you'd like to add? I can't think of anything.
No, I mean, should we promote ourselves, or do they already know who we are?
Yeah. If you don't know who we are, you can follow us on. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Nick Lathan.
Yeah, and I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. Peyton Cody Lynch, Peyton.
If you have me on Facebook, I will not accept you because, listen, I'm like a recently divorced man. I added people that are in my contacts on my telephone, and the only thing I post is stuff I care about.
Yeah, I'll only add you on Facebook if I know you. If I don't know you, I mean, maybe if you're cute, I'll add you, but that's about it. Because I am single and looking, just in case anyone's listening.
This is listen. We're just trying to get Peyton a boyfriend. That's all we're
basically. That's all this Halloween podcast is about. That's the real reason we're here. So,
guys, listen. I mean, he's a good catch. I mean, I'm willing to do a podcast with him. So that tells you. I don't just do a podcast with anybody. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up because Peyton has lyrics for the instrumental theme.
I wrote lyrics to Halloween.
Are you ready? Mm-hmm. I'm going to play this through my phone because I don't have a hookup for the podcast
here mixer. We go. Michael is coming, he's coming. He just escaped from the mental hospital. I'm following really well. That's actually how it sounds. That's how it goes. And then the doctor... he's gonna shoot Michael. And the mental patients are standing outside in the rain. It actually just tells you the whole story of the movie.
Okay. Great lyrics. That has been the first episode of Welcome to Haddonfield. I'm Nick Lathan.
And I'm Peyton Lynch.
And come back next week where we talk about Halloween with Rich Camelucci.
Or
as I know him.
From Podswoggle, right?
Yes, and as I know him, Uncle Rip. So come back next week, and thank you for subscribing to Patreon.
Thank you.
Thank you for playing Arcade Audio. Play more at arcadeaudio.net.